No matter how you want to look at it, the people that are around us influence us even without us knowing. One of the things I enjoy about reading is how it enlightens, broadens, and sharpens your mind. It's something that I would recommend anyone to do. Even if you don't want to read like a hard copy, you can always go for audiobooks because I think they're almost everywhere now. I use an app called Scribd, which I'm going to link below. You can get the first month free. It has a lot of awesome books that you pay $10 every month to access. So for this month's book review, I'm going to be talking about Millionaire Next Door, and I must say is really amazing. This book was written by Thomas J. Stanley and William D. Danko, and it dates back to 1996. It's basically a book surrounding wealthy people. Millionaire Next Door: The Surprising Secrets of the American Wealthy People. This book, guys, is very eye-opening. It doesn't talk about how to make money. It focuses on the characteristics that makes one a millionaire, that makes one work towards being a millionaire, or makes one maintain their status as a millionaire. They went and did surveys on millionaires who maintained their wealth, who grew more, and those who couldn't maintain their wealth or status as millionaires. And some of these characteristics are the things that I want to share with you today, because people still tend to ignore some of these major characteristics, which is why till tomorrow a lot of people might not be able to achieve the financial goals that they set for themselves because they lack some of these characteristics. So I'm going to go ahead to explain them one after the other. So the first one is living way below your means. This might sound very common to you, but actually a lot of people live way above their means. And I'm not saying that maybe you're living very flashy lifestyle or you're always going to buy luxury items. No, it could also mean that, let's say your salary is $1,000 and then you're living in a place where you're paying $500. In a way, you might think that, oh, this $500 place is not very expensive because it has this, it has that, it has that. But if you check it out, you're actually living way above your means, because over 50% of your income has already gone to housing. We've not talked about your feeding, your transportation, and every other thing. And by the time you check it, towards the end of the month, you're either going out to borrow money from people or you're just living paycheck to paycheck. But you can look for a place that is a lot more cheaper and try to make the place look, or to shop the place the way you would want that of the $500 apartment looks. Or you just take time to wait for when you're earning way more than that so that you can be able to afford this particular apartment. So try to make sure that you're living below your means, because if you're spending more than you're earning, I don't think it balances out. It will make sense. You won't get that wealth you're looking for. This now brings us to the second point, which is going into debt. Yes, not all debts are bad, but if you're into the habit of always going to borrow money to impress people, trying to tell people that you've arrived, let's say for example you've been living in the slums, or you've probably relocated to a place and you think that, oh, I need to let people know that now I'm okay and then you go ahead to start going into debt just to impress people, and in your head you're like, oh, don't worry, when the salary comes I'm going to pay off, forgetting that all these loans come with interest and all. You're still going to have to pay interest, the interest charges, to be able to live up with this lifestyle that, to be honest, people don't really care. I know that sometimes people think that people care about how they live, or people want to know how wealthy they are. Honestly, people are battling their own issues. So trying to impress people is at your own risk. People don't really care, trust me. So try to avoid going to borrow money that you're not either using for business that will yield you money in return. Do not borrow money to try to impress people that you barely know or might not even remember you after a particular period of time. Then the next thing he talked about as well was investing early on, and he gave lots of examples where he talked about a particular man. He has a very big contract with Walmart where he provides a particular amount of product for them every month, and year in year out the man never invested in Walmart. He knew how much Walmart was making annually, monthly, but he never invested. And then there was this particular man who he was even earning like $80,000 a year for him and his family, but he was always investing in stocks no matter what. This man turned out to later become a millionaire when the reward of his investment tripled or quadrupled, while the man who kept on working for Walmart, when his contract ended, he didn't have a lot of things to fall back on, because yes, at that point he was making a lot of money from Walmart, but he was not investing that particular money. And when his contract was cancelled and ended and he didn't have a lot of money coming in for him, he went broke. So don't think that investing you need a lot of money to start. You can actually, let's say for example you earn $1,000 a month, you can bring out even as low as $10 and invest in S&P 500 if you're very scared. I'm talking of stocks. If you're very confused, on what to invest in. This is not a financial advice, but it was from the book. You can check out some companies that you make use of their product a lot, you love their product a lot. You can try to invest in that particular company, no matter how little. Always remember that you don't need a lot of capital to start investing. It could be in stocks, it could be in crypto, it could be in real estate, but always invest, because investing is one way that you can use to outpace inflation. It is also another great way to build wealth, so always try to invest. The next point is focusing on long-term goals rather than short-term goals. Yes, it's very great to kick off a lot of things in your short-term goals, but don't let them distract you towards what is way ahead. So if you focus on your gains and losses, let's say for example you start investing, started this month, and the next month the market is down, you're scared because we just lost this amount of money. It means that you're focusing on the short-term goal, because at that particular point you probably have not made any profit. And what they were trying to say in the book is avoid focusing on the short-term goal, because it will distract you. It can also make you take some rash decisions that you would regret later. But if you're thinking of the long term, you won't really bother if currently you're in loss or you're in gain, because you know that it's a long-term thing. The market will definitely bounce back. This just does not include only investing. It could also be in your career or whatever you're pursuing. Let's say for example you're looking to work as a software engineer, you've been learning and you're applying and you're getting rejections. Don't focus on the rejections that are currently coming in. I know that it's not easy because it involves a lot of emotion, but focus on the long term, because you know that once you get that one yes you're looking for, the sky is your limit per se. So do not always dwell on the short-term goal. Always look ahead, look at the long-term goal. It will help you focus on what is more important. The next one is discipline, and I know that this is something that a lot of people struggle with. Millionaires, according to him in the book, that the wealthy ones are very disciplined. They are very disciplined in terms of investing. They know that every month this is how much they are supposed to invest. They're very disciplined with their expenses and budgeting. They live within that their particular budget. If they say that this month this is what we're going to spend, no matter what happens, unless it has to do with life and death, that they are going to stick to that budget. So be disciplined. When you're disciplined, you know things that are not worth your time, that you don't need to give time to or attention to. If you're disciplined, you know that you're not going to overexpend. Always, invest regularly, stick to your budget, and make sure you save on a monthly basis. Another thing they talked about too is for you to choose your career wisely, something that you're passionate about, and you also know that it will bring you financial rewards as well. Not just because you're passionate about it. Is it something that provides value to people? Is it something that people will pay for? So make sure that you're choosing your career wisely, because your career can also make or mar you in terms of your financial journey. Prioritizing education. A lot of people, I know that once they graduate from school, they're like, I'm not even going to read the next time what I see, which I totally understand for that particular time immediately you graduate. But if you want to become a millionaire or you're working towards that, you really need to educate yourself, because the more you know, the better decisions you can make, and you can also increase your earning power or earning potential, because now you're more enlightened, you're knowledgeable, you can make very insightful and intelligent decisions that would probably progress you and help you to earn more. So make sure that you invest in yourself. I always tell people this, people around me as well, that self-investment is one of the best investments you can make for yourself, because every other thing can go away, but no one can take away your knowledge, no one can take away whatever it is that you know. So make sure that in as much as you're hustling, in as much as you're grinding, make sure you're leveling up here and getting to know more, because it definitely helps. The next one is to surround yourself with like-minded people. Just like they say, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are, or they say birds of the same feathers flock together. According to them in the book, the millionaires are always surrounded by like-minded people, because let's say for example, if you want to work towards being a millionaire and you're friends with someone who that is not their goal, no matter how you want to look at it, the people that are around us influence us even without us knowing. So make sure that you're surrounded with people that are like-minded, people that have the same goals as you, so that they would also encourage you. Let's say for example you want to go on a diet, and then you're always hanging around people who always eat out and always eat unhealthy food when they go out. No matter how disciplined you want to say you are, one of those days you're going to cave in, and that would deter you from that goal, that your weight loss goal. So that is also the same thing when it comes to finance. So if you're always surrounding yourself with people who are squandering squandering their savings, people who are always overspending, buying things they don't need. No matter how you want to say, oh, you're very focused, the more you keep hanging out with them, the easier it is for them to sway you towards their direction. So make sure that whatever goals you have, that people who you're surrounded with also are working or aligned with your goals and your values. And then the last but not the least that I also got from the book was to give back to the community. Giving back to the community is also a great way of you having the satisfaction that you're doing something great in this world. Also, you experience the fact that you're making a difference in people's lives. Oh, I'm changing the world, I'm doing something for people. So that's really most of the things that I got from the book. It's very interesting that the book didn't really talk about how you can make money, but they focused majorly on the characteristics and the attributes of millionaires. And I think that people also overlook some of these things. And by the time you do serious retrospection, you can see that you're probably flopping one place or the other, and that needs maybe correction. I know that I learned a lot from this book, and I would recommend it 10 over 10 that you go ahead and read it. The name is Millionaire Next Door. I'm also going to put the picture here. I don't have the physical book because I read the audiobook, but it was very insightful. That is the book review for this month. I will definitely come back to you with another interesting book. If you have any books you want me to review, you can leave it in the comment section. And if you like this one and you want me to do more of these, please be sure to leave it in the comments, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.